Todd Fitton, hello. It has been such a long time. I am so glad to be back with you again. Share with all of us what is going on in the world of mortgage lending.
So much, but with absolutely nothing at all. Nothing's really changed. That's why it's been so long since we've talked. So
yeah, it's been a while.
Treading water, running in place. I feel like a cartoon character where my feet are moving a million miles an hour, but I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
So still, COVID still got us on lockdown, got us running a little ragged all at the same time because the market is still on fire. So things are good with respects to the market, but man, it's just the whole rest of our lives are still turned upside down.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel it too. So what is the latest and greatest with things going on in the mortgage world?
So did get some fantastic news yesterday, and Freddie Mac actually announced an increase to the conforming loan limit. It's going to go up from what it currently is at $510,400 all the way up to $548,250. So what that does, that gives your buyers that can afford more home, that gives them more buying power under a conventional loan amount so that they don't have to adhere to the jumbo loan requirements, which are typically a lot more strict. So that's just going to give them more buying power. It's going to help some of those homes that maybe were sitting on the market because people didn't want to deal with a jumbo loan will now be able to be sold under a conforming loan limit. So it should really help free some space up for people to buy those higher end homes. And then that also typically is going to translate over to a change in the FHA loan limit also, because that normally runs at about 65% of the conforming limit. So we could see things, I want to say, I was looking at the numbers and it was like 356,000 or something like that. So somewhere around there. So we could see that loan limit go up as well. And I'll definitely update you once I hear. And they just haven't put it out yet. Normally it's a lot closer to the end of the year before they will.
Wow, awesome. So do those new loan limits affect rates at all? Where are rates and how's that going?
No, it shouldn't affect rates. Rates are still good though. The market held tough. And I know last time we spoke, we were looking at what could kind of up in that market, what could up in the rates and throw us into a higher interest rate, a free fall, but the opposite direction, a free increase. Instead of a free fall. And the answer at that time was the election. That was the big unknown. We didn't know how the markets were going to react to a Joe Biden victory or a Trump loss, or a Trump victory and a Biden loss. We didn't know how the market was going to react. Thankfully, it didn't really, nothing changed, which is, that gives me a lot of peace of mind in knowing that we're dealing with a real market. This is not a drummed up fake market like we had when Trump was elected. Before he was elected, the government was imposing a lot of what was putting rates where they were.
Right.
So we saw a huge reaction at that point in time where interest rates went up 0.5% in 2 days. We did not have that this time. The market, it spiked a little bit, but it was like literally a couple of hours and then it came back down. And I don't even really attribute that to the election as much as I did the data that was coming in within the market. It was all, that our market doesn't end just because there's an election on that day. There's still data that's coming out as far as new home sales and stuff like that. Right. So that's really, it is our market alone that is driving the interest rates right now. It's the new home sales, it's the stock market, it's oil, it's all of these factors that are typically what run our rates. That's all right now. There's not a lot of speculation out there. And I would say to the positive side, because we all could use some positive news in 2020, is to look forward to 2021. If we're seeing that loan amount, that conforming loan limit go up, typically speaking, Fannie and Freddie are, as the largest servicers, they are looking forward to 2021. They're seeing enough appreciation to warrant that. So right now, again, looking at part of the statistics of our market, we're seeing a 1% increase in the value of a home every single month. So that's a potential for 12% increase in value over a year. I doubt we get there, but I mean, just if we keep that trend, which it started at the beginning of the summer. So like June, I think May or June was our first month where it was a full 1% increase in value of the average home. It's been 1% every month. So we're on a trend that could put us between 6 to 12% in value increase of a home if you purchased.
And comparatively, what is the average, percent increase for like over the fiscal year typically in home values?
Yeah, in my career, which has been almost 20 years, typically what you see year in, year out is somewhere between 3 and 6 or 3 and 7%. And 6 and 7 is like gangbusters, like things are just rocking and rolling,
right,
which is where we've been. They were expecting that number to drop to 3.5 to 4% this year. We did that in the summer.
wow,
like that was crazy.
right.
So and COVID does have a lot to do with that, but the biggest thing is where I would say the only speculation within our market that exists is the people selling their homes. There's that fear that they won't be able to find a home, so they don't want to list a home. And if we don't have any listings, we don't have any homes for sale. So it's keeping the supply low. Demand is still high because we have a record number of first-time home buyers out there looking for homes right now. And that's driving prices up. And that's why we're seeing the 1% gain month over month right now is strictly because of supply and demand, which is from somebody from my standpoint that's lived through the highs and the lows of this industry. It's refreshing to know that we're operating under like real statistics, like real numbers, not something that, hey, the government just dropped a couple of $1 billion into the market, so the rates dropped. Like that's never good. It never ends well.
Yeah.
They stopped doing that last year. Like they pulled all that money out. So we are dealing with real numbers now. And everybody's anticipating that next year is going to be a great year also. Maybe not to the numbers that we had this year, but I mean, still good numbers.
So as far as your ratio of refinances to existing home purchases, what are your numbers looking like? I know you went through a huge refinance, segment during this year because there was just an amazing time to refinance. So what's your ratio looking like right now?
So I would say last year at this time, I was probably somewhere between 80 to 100% purchase business. Wasn't focused on or doing very many refinances at all. Once COVID hit, which was March 16th, 15th, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Obviously rates, they dropped drastically overnight. I mean, we dropped 1.5% in rate within a couple of weeks. It was crazy. And I quickly reversed that number and flipped it 180, and I was doing 80% refinance and 20% purchase. And that puts a strain on the market. It puts a strain on the appraisers. It puts a strain on our underwriting teams. It puts a strain on our processors. It puts a strain on us loan officers because we just don't sleep very much. But at the same time, we've got to remember that we've got to take care of both sides. We got to take care of our new customers, obviously, on their purchases, but we have to take care of our past clientele on their refinances because, when you work with me as your lender, I'm your lender for life. So I'm here for you no matter what. Now, as time has progressed through COVID, that number has started to gradually come back to a middle ground where I'm probably right now 60-40, 60% refinance, 40% purchase. And as November has progressed, I'm seeing that even shrink more to where I'm getting more to a purchase market again than a refinance market. And a lot of that just has to do with my own particular pipeline. I've gone through my past clientele and helped the majority of them that could be helped into refinance, get refinanced, or they have decided to sell their home and purchase another one. So I'm not doing any more refinances at any great number like I was. I mean, I was closing a ridiculous amount of refinances there for a while, and it definitely puts a strain on you, but we gotta make it work when we can.
Oh yeah, 100%, definitely. So as we're wrapping up 2020, this will be our last video unless some crazy news breaks that we just have to get on here and inform our clients and audience. This is basically us wrapping up 2020. So for the rest of the year, you see rates staying really good. You see appreciation, basically on the rise. What can you say for the first couple months of 2021 that you are, your predictions for the trend of rates and these, these values of homes? What are you thinking for the first quarter of 2021?
I think the first quarter honestly is going to look a lot like the fourth quarter of 2020. And I want to start off by saying that this is probably my favorite part of this entire segment, because you just said wrap up 2020. And I don't think that there's anybody watching that doesn't want to wrap up 2020, and not like wrap up like a Christmas present, like wrap it up, wad it up into a little ball and throw it in the trash can and walk away, never to speak of it again.
Right.
It's been a crazy year, and so many people have been affected. And I really would encourage people that if you are looking to buy a home, definitely reach out to Victoria, reach out to me, because you can buy, even though it's crazy times. You may have had a furlough on your job. You may have had, a hard time with your business. Talk to us. We're not just here for the sole purpose of buying or selling your home. We're here as consultants. We're here to advise you. We're here to give you that hope that you need, because owning a home is the greatest feeling that you could possibly ever imagine. And it's exactly why I do what I do on a daily basis. So reach out to us so that we can help you, because that appreciation is real. And if you're currently renting and you're paying $1,500 a month on a rental, you're giving somebody else that appreciation, and that 1% gain you're losing every single month. Just to put it into perspective, on a $200,000 home, which it probably wouldn't be it'd be more than that, but just for round numbers, that's $2,000 a month that you're losing just in appreciation. So if your mortgage payment is $1,200, I think it'd be like $1,100 on a $200,000 house. You're paying $1,100. Part of that's going to the appreciation of the home. Plus you have your regular rate of inflation. You're leaving, $2,500 on the table every single month. And that's a lot. That is a lot of money. Multiply that by 12 and see just how much you wasted versus the 19 grand or whatever that you gave somebody else.
Right.
So do yourself a favor. Don't be scared. If you're nervous about something, that's even more of a reason to reach out to us, because we know what we're talking about. We can look at credit. We can give plans and ideas that gives you a plan A, plan B, plan C for the future, and at least give you something to look forward to for 2021. Because just like I'm looking forward to rates holding and keeping a great market for all of my buyers, and looking at increased, maximum loan amounts for these different loan programs, 2021 can be a really, really big year for everybody.
Agreed. And you did just touch on it. For those people that are weary and thinking, well, I was furloughed during COVID, or I was laid off, or I had a gap in my employment, to those people that are thinking, well, I'm out of the game now, I am not going to be eligible to buy a home. What are the guidelines and what are the standards that you're seeing that you can actually push these people through and get them qualified?
So COVID-19 would be what's considered an extenuating circumstance. And there's a age-old rule that you have to have 2 years consecutive work history. It's not really, you can take consecutive out of it. As long as you have a 2-year work history, you're fine. A gap in employment of what's considered a substantial timeline can be completely written on a letter of explanation that shows that it was an extenuating circumstance. I mean, we all understand COVID, and the guidelines are supporting that. So again, if you were furloughed, if you're a W-2 employee and you were furloughed for 1 or 2 months, not a big deal. If you're back to work and you've got your base income coming back and you're full steam ahead, then you're full steam ahead on buying a house. You're right back where you were. The forbearance people that had mortgages that are looking to sell their home and buy a new home, that they entered into a forbearance either knowingly or unknowingly. If you unknowingly got put into a forbearance, but you made all your payments on time, you're fine. We can actually call the bank, have them remove that from your credit report as far as the forbearance terminology, and you're right back where you were. If you did take advantage of it and you did miss 3 months payments, well, if you're caught up by now, or if you've made 3 consecutive months payments, you're right back where you started from, because they didn't hurt your credit with it. They just labeled your account as in forbearance. So those guidelines were set in a way that people would not be harmed by this COVID-19 bug. And hopefully, if you feel like you might be under some pressure with those guidelines, call us, because we can hopefully put your mind at ease and get you back on track.
Absolutely. Well, Todd Fitton with Vera Mortgage, once again, thank you so much for all of your knowledge, all your support. And yes, for anyone out there who just has questions or wants to get started on the road to home ownership, please call Todd, call myself. We are the dynamic duo. We are a team and we love helping our clients. This is what we do. So if you're looking towards 2021 as the year that you want to purchase a home, we are those people to help you, and we are here for you. So Todd, any final remarks as we wrap up 2020?
As we wrap it up and throw it out the door, I would tell everybody watching, have a great Thanksgiving and a happy holidays. And if you need anything, call my cell phone, 559-359-7240. This is my passion. My passion is to help as many people as I possibly can. So please, please call me. No matter what the question is, I'm happy to answer it.
Thank you so much, Todd. That's why I love working with you. We have the same passion for our clients, and we're there for everyone that needs us. So happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy holidays to you and your family. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I will catch you in 2021.
Awesome. And we'll stay in touch just in case something crazy might just happen before 2020 is over.
True story. We're always just a Zoom call away.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Todd.
Thank you.